Welcome to the
All right,
Detroit
here we go.
Experience.
All right, this is gonna be my review of Detroit Become Human. I'm just kind of messing around the screen just to give you gameplay while I just talk about it. I've never really done a gameplay review or game review really because they're really hard to talk about. There's so much that goes into video games in general. It's kind of like, well, where to really start? But Detroit Become Human. Some people won't say it's a game. I think it is because I'm using a controller. I am doing stuff with the controller. I'm pressing more than one button sometimes. So in that aspect, I think it is a game. Some people don't like because it's more like a interactive book. Some people would say I don't really buy that. But if you played Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls, those the previous two. I believe it's those Quantic Dream games. I never played Heavy Rain. I've been meaning to, but it always kind of fell by the wayside. I played Beyond Two Souls. That was okay. It got a little crazy towards the end, and well, it got crazy towards the middle. It started off with one thing, and by the end, it was something totally different, which isn't bad per se, but it was just a little too much. But Detroit Become Human, I think that's probably Quantum Dream's best PlayStation exclusive game since they started making games for PlayStation. The story follows three protagonists: Connor, Kara, and Marcus. It's 2038, I believe. Androids have become part of the human culture. People have androids for pretty much what you can imagine. People use androids for to do their chores, to do work for them. Have sex with them in some aspects. Well, not some aspects. Just pretty much just like sex clubs for androids. With androids, I should say. But yeah, Connor he's like the the android create what's their name? Cyberlife. They create androids, and he's there to investigate these things called deviants. Deviants are androids who pretty much go off script. And there's been a rise in deviancy in the past, the very recent past, as the game kind of tells. Marcus, I don't want to give too much away, but he was an android that became deviant, and he becomes the new revolutionary. And Kara, she starts off as a pretty much a maid for this one guy, and she ends up after a traumatic incident. I'll say this: if you're not comfortable with domestic violence or violence against kids, don't play Kara. It's hard to talk about Kara's chapter because after Kara, the guy who got Kara, after he takes her in, he starts beating the child and all that, and she ends up in a room with the child. It could go very different ways depending on your gameplay, but that's pretty much the bulk of it. The bulk of the three stories, they all intersect in various different ways. Connor's usually like the linchpin between the other two, since he investigates deviancy, and both Kara and Marcus are deviants. His path keeps crossing with them. They don't really interact all that much, but there are those key moments where they do, and it's always fun to see how one gameplay affects the other, how the story affects.
Who cares? You're back this morning, aren't you?
I really enjoyed the game because of that aspect. The storytelling is it's top notch. I would say I haven't played Heavy Rain like I said, but I've seen clips and that seems melodramatic. And
Thank you, Lieutenant.
was it Beyond Two Souls? It was also melodramatic, but more toned down than from what I saw from Heavy Rain.
Hi, Hank. Shit,
Like I
what's
said,
going on
if
here?
you don't like
Party and nobody told me about it?
it's like these interactive books, more or less, I don't think this is a game for you. But if you do, or like a good story like I do, I'm a story guy. I don't really like multiplayer. I can't play Fortnite for the life of me. I mean, I could, but I just choose not to. If you don't like multiplayer type of games, I think this is a perfect game for you.
They knew the building and they
The graphics are top notch.
still trying to
Like, I mean, look at that, it's Clancy Brown. He looks just like there's no mistaking that's Clancy Brown. I mean, they kind of de-aged him somewhat, but and there's various other actors. Marcus is played by Jesse Williams, the biracial doctor from Grey's Anatomy. You might see him, the one with the nice eyes, girls goes crazy for.
They attacked two
And
guards.
Minka Kelly's in the game as another android. So there's a few like celebrity appearances that I always like. Well, that was taken by surprise. It's like, oh, Minka Kelly's in this game. Oh, Clancy Brown. I had no idea any of these people were in this game. I thought it was just gonna be about just random people. But I guess it makes sense after the precedent with Beyond Two Souls, which had Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe.
One bullet straight through.
But I would say Sony's been on a tear this year with their games, and this is no exception. I don't think I was gonna like this after God of War, because God of War was, I think, probably the best game so far of the year. And I was like, Sony can't really top that. And you know, that's apples and oranges because it's two different types of games. But still, this has really solidified, like, this is the generation for Sony. They've been doing a great job with the different types of games and how various different types of games and just pushing the envelope in many different ways. They have Spider-Man come out this year, and I believe that's the last exclusive. But this is a solid middle. It was only a few months after God of War. You won't be disappointed because I beat the game 100%. I got the platinum trophy. It took me about
Pleasure meeting you. Have a nice day.
20 hours to get that. Mostly just because you got to replay the game more or less twice to get everything. But you'll have a fun time. I had a fun time. I was never bored. There's some stuff I wanted to skip through, but you can't, unfortunately, because of this type of game. But I always had a fun time. Was disappointed. I would hope there'd be a sequel, but this leaves it. There's pretty much no room for a sequel. But I can't wait to see what Quantum Dream does next, because I think this is probably their best game. And hopefully Sony keeps them on the payroll, because I don't think Sony owns them, but I hope Sony keeps them on the exclusive payroll. So, they're making the best games for Sony lately. Other than that, if you want a good game, I suggest you buy it, but if you're not really a buying person, definitely rent it. Alright? Hope that helped. Later.